Today we're going to be taking a look at what is currently one of the most popular open world action RPGs, Where Winds Meet, which peaked at over 250,000 concurrent Steam players and is currently sitting at 88% positive reviews on Steam, so you're definitely going to want to check this one out. This video is sponsored by Everstone Studio, as they wanted me to take a look at their game and take you all along for the ride. And the great thing here is that Where Winds Meet is actually free to play and it's not pay to win, so you got nothing to lose checking it out. And also note that those of you who like to play games solo, I know a lot of you on my channel do, Where Winds Meet allows you to do just that, as you have the option to play solo or multiplayer with the agency to change that setting on the fly, but more on that later in the video. So I'll have a link down below for all of you to go check this game out, as it's out now and currently available on the Steam, Epic, and PlayStation stores. So what is Where Winds Meet? Well, the answer to that is kind of complicated, as it's many things and it can be whatever you want it to be because there's so much to do in this game. But considering that I run an RPG focused YouTube channel, yes, this game does have a main story that you can focus on and play through, and this story does include various high production cinematics. And there's also plenty of RPG progression mechanics and features in general, such as a crime system, where if you get caught committing a crime, you may end up being forced to serve some time in jail. So even though I of course have my own horse, I want this guy's horse. So we're gonna come on up here and engage in a criminal lifestyle. Oh, this... All right, he's coming after me. That guy was stronger than I thought. That's the first time I've been denied access to pulling the guy off the horse itself. Your crime has been witnessed. Okay, everybody's after me now. Justice has been served. On 12/8, you triggered assault. After frantic escape, you were captured and imprisoned. Please serve your sentence patiently. Apparently, I wasn't the only one. The world in Where Winds Meet can actually be quite dynamic, which most of us love to see in our games, and you have a ton of moment-to-moment freedom that allows you to roleplay out the type of character that you want to play as. You can, of course, be that more cliche hero who wanders around taking out the bad guys and saving those in need. Hello, cute deer of the realm, I shall protect you from the bandits. Or perhaps you're more suited to terrorizing the world, robbing and murdering as a daily activity. Greetings, innocent person. See ya. Or maybe you even want to follow a profession line and become a skilled doctor dedicated to saving lives, or a scholar. But speaking of doctors, if you find yourself with certain injuries in this game, you will need to find a doctor to heal you. And this can actually be other players if you're playing multiplayer. It's not a survival game by any means, but it does have several more realistic aspects to it that make everything feel a bit more immersive and real. And then there'll be those of you who spend your days locked up in the game's various mini-games. Trio Double Dot. Don't drink from the wine vase. Well, might as well gamble. Yes, that did happen. It was unexpected. I had no idea I was going to turn into a dog. And actually, one of my favorite aspects of this game up to now is that there's some really funny stuff that goes on in the game. Hey, Mr. Bear. But still, the game never comes across as goofy. It more so cleverly includes just enough humor elements for players who take the time to seek it out and mess with certain aspects of the game, and it can be a ton of fun doing so. There is so much to do in this game, and of course it all takes place in a vast, rich, seamless Eastern open world that you get to explore freely. There's no restrictive paths or anything like that, nor does the game put pressure on you to follow a certain path. There's even one time where I was in a main story mission and I realized I was running short on time, so I just backed out of the main story mission, went out and did some open world activities, and I can go back and restart that mission whenever I want. Let me just look at this place. We have vistas all over the maps. In fact, there's 20 distinct regions with thousands of points of interest on your map that you can discover, all sorts of activities. There's dungeons, there's puzzles, so many things to do. And of course, you can also focus more on, the main quest if you want. You can do more exploration type activities. We have lost chapters, encounters, side stories. There's even fishing and crafting systems. I mean, I'm telling you, you can spend your day doing something completely different than another player. And you'll find yourself running through beautiful plains, emerald forests, bustling cities, there's mountains. And one really cool feature that I want to mention is that in the game's largest city, Kaifeng City, most of which is actually faithfully recreated from real ancient Chinese architecture, you can actually go inside every single building in that city. Now, I don't consider that a requirement in games, but there's something really immersive and exciting about knowing that you can actually do that in a game. It makes the game and the world feel much more real, as opposed to just being a bunch of visual props around you. Let's talk more about progression. Where Winds Meet has a true wuxia experience, as you get to master 7 dedicated weapon types. 12 unique martial arts, and 24 mystical arts. All of these are available to learn and freely combine, so over time, as you progress and experiment, you'll start to discover your own unique combat style and build. We also, of course, have gear progression, which does play a big role in this game. We have the talent trees, all sorts of things to invest into, and also there's a ton of character stats and also attributes, combat attributes, and numbers if you're into getting into the numbers like that. Really cool. There's even exploration attributes, as you can see right here: resolve, elegance, perception, and exploration skills that go along with that you'll be investing into. Speaking of combat though, even right away in the tutorial, it's very easy to see and feel how smooth the combat is. Everything is extremely responsive, things are fluid. You really get the feeling of true expression of the martial arts, and you have a ton of agency over your character. When I have my long sword out, I have this quick light attack that I can do, and I can also do a heavy attack and charge that up as well if I hold it down. I can hold down the block, deflect, and then I can also do a parry to try to get the timing right and get like a counter attack and stagger the opponent. And then of course I have my weapon abilities, my martial arts. If I switch to my dual blades, those will change up. And I also have different light attacks and no heavy attack. It's more so like my character enters into a rage mode. And then we have the mystic arts right here. So I currently have 2 unlocked right now. As you can see, this is how I can throw a bear or a person. I guess I can't throw this person. And then I also have this right here, and both of those can be used in combat, but they can also be used in the environment too, navigating or just throwing bears. The combat in this game blends the challenge of Souls-like combat with the fluid thrill of action RPG games. And if you really want more of that Souls-like feeling, there is an option to adjust the difficulty to get that challenging Souls-like feeling. And the base game option difficulties are story, recommended, and expert. But there's also a legend that is a permanent choice that you can't change as you play, while the other 3 you can swap in between when playing solo. And there's gonna be a hardcore mode at some point too, where you basically lose your character when you die in this mode, permadeath mode. One of the really nice features though that makes this game more accessible is that the game's story mode, and actually you can even toggle these individually in the game settings. When you're playing on story difficulty, or if you toggle these options on, you can have things such as increased timing for the parry, so the game will kind of enter like a slow-mo state as an enemy is about to attack attack you, and it gives you more time to actually parry. You don't have to do it right on the spot in the moment. So if you're not looking for that challenge, you can have a more relaxed adventure. And actually, this game can be super relaxing. I'm typically someone who likes to play games on really tough difficulties, but I can see myself turning the difficulty down just to try to enjoy things and relax. And lastly, let's briefly touch on the solo and multiplayer elements. So like I said earlier, you can absolutely play solo and never team up with another player. There is zero social pressure in this mode. But solo mode also offers optional limited multiplayer with friends where you can do some private co-op for certain aspects of the game, such as world bosses, certain quests, and you can even share items. If you activate online mode, the world in some ways switches to become more like an MMO, where you'll see random players running around. Now, this does stop the progression of your main story, so the main story is always going to be in solo mode if you want to progress it, but it opens up so much in the game, such as socialization. You can take on challenges with random players. There's PvE quests. There's even optional PvP modes, such as duels, matches, and larger scale battle modes. You can switch between the two modes at any time, so it's really up to you how you want to experience the world. It's actually pretty neat that it offers this, and it does it quite well. So there we have it. That is Where Winds Meet. And after having played it for a few days now, I gotta say, it's been really fun, and I do recommend you all to at least give it a try because, like I said, it is free to play. So you can go download it right now. Give it a shot. You got nothing to lose. It's not pay to win. And actually, all future game content and DLCs have been announced to also be free for all players when they come out. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll have a link down below in the video description and pinned comment for you to go check out Where Winds Meet. I'll catch you all on the next one.